So now, if there's gonna be a movie or a series, would you be open to audition for it again?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'm supposed to speak on it or if I could or if I can't, but at one point in time I was, shout out to BOK Prime too, I was in depth with Suge Knight. I was in depth with Suge Knight. They had a series that he was supposed to be doing about his life, and he was supposed to be about his life and death row and all that. But I actually went there to go audition off the rip, and just off the strength of one of my friends. He's going out for the Suge role. Shout out to my boy Matt. My boy Matt Boss. That's my guy. Looks just like Suge. Been knowing him for years. We been going through the trenches, but. He put me on, we went to the audition, and then I ended up touching bases with that whole audition process, killed it, got to talk to Suge on the phone, we had a cool conversation, and got confirmation from him, but apparently they took you down for whatever odd reasons, and then production stopped, but that's always going to be a story about Pop.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like a director has to do it, or I feel like the right script has to get produced. And honestly, myself, I'm thinking about starting to write a script. I got something in works I'm writing, not necessarily all about pop, but it's something in relevance to something I think that people might want to hear.
Okay.
I got too many stories that I can share that still make it more relevant.
Okay, cool. I mean, I heard Suge and Suge Jr. They were in Ray J were into talking about like doing like a death row story. You know what I mean? So, no, I heard Suge and his son was in talk about doing a death row story. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that was.
So, because I know, it was actually on the radio out here. It was on the radio. They had like this little audition process for the TV show. I forget the name of the TV show, but. It was supposed to be like a little series. I believe it was supposed to be on BET, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I know they took down the promotional things, everything. I would have to go back to my archives to look at my pictures, but I know they was going on the radio out here in LA, and they were on K-Day just speaking about like a little docu-series that they were supposed to start up. But like I said, I had got winds of it. And when I had got in contact with Suge, you know, during my audition process after the fact, it was a promising conversation, you know, as far as, you know, what we discussed. It was, you know, real convincing, but for whatever our reasons, it went separate ways, you know, so,
yeah.
I mean, goes and goes. Like right now, I know they got something in line for Snoop. Snoop has a biopic coming out. I'm actually working on that right now, working on some little content right now. Go ahead and put out there in the universe, but Snoop got something going on. I just don't know if they chose anybody yet for the pop role. I know they chose somebody for the Snoop role, but I don't know if they chose anybody for the pop role yet. But
well, you should get on that, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, most definitely. I remember when I had popped with the BET Awards. I remember Snoop had reposted it too. That was dope. That whole moment was dope.
Yeah. And I also I saw a video about you at the Walk of Fame, Hollywood Walk of Fame. You had fans coming up to you, taking pictures, and actually calling you Tupac. How does that feel, man?
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. So, like, growing up, I was always a Tupac fan. Like, ever since I was knee high, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always liked Pac, you know, and not in a million years, what I think, like me going viral at the BET Awards turning to me looking like Pop. Like I think I was like 19, 20. And like I said, I've been a fan, which is the point I've collected books, DVDs, watched documentaries, stories. I done seen the movies. I done seen it all just being a Pop fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like when I got a little older, my mom's best friend's like, you kind of look like Pop. And I'm like no damn Pop. But then I just started shaving off the head, you know what I'm saying? And then I started going along with it. And then all of a sudden, that's when the movie roles started coming into the process. So in the midst between time, I just started gaining my little notoriety here and there, little few looks here and there. But like the more I got into it, I was just like, okay, for sure. But like I said, what gave me confirmation was when I did the show with Digital Underground, and then I don't know, I started dressing up in Hollywood. You know, they started little looks here and there, but when I start moving to Vegas and start impersonating, get out my comfort zone and start doing shows and start making a little bit of money here and there, and yeah, and then when I started to see how much the ladies love Pac, I was like, okay, for sure, we on. So after that,
dude, you have no idea how the women love Pac, bro. Listen, man.
I think he does, actually. He knows very well how much the women love Pac.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right? Between me and you, have you ever pulled a girl because of the looks?
you know what's crazy? It's happened on both sides of the fence. It's happened three different ways. It's happening intentionally, unintentionally, and just in general. Like, I wouldn't say it happened if I'm like physically dressed up in like you. I mean, I can wear a snapback. I mean, I'm always wearing hats anyway, you know. But if I'm in costume, you know what I'm saying, with a snapback or a bandana, like if I'm intensely looking like Pac, it's like, okay, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I know the magnitude of it, you know what I'm saying? But it could be like a hot moment. Like, I remember one time I was working in Vegas, and I remember I used to work on the strip. I had my little hat on, chilling, and I'm a normal day. I mean, I know I favor the dude regardless of what I wear, you know what I mean? But a chick came up to me. She was like, oh my God, Malone, so you cute, look like Tupac. And the homie was like, yeah, hey, Pop. I was just like, oh, that's what's up. And, you know, she come over there, she just started talking, you know, we ended up hanging out, you know what I mean, showed her around Vegas, and, you know, had a good time. Where it could be intentionally, unintentionally, you know, even with a beard, you know, it's just like, if you know, you know, but nah, it's got its perks. I'm not gonna hold you, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have women fly me out different places across the world, come hang out and, you know, show them their side of the town. Like, it's got its perks.
Yeah.
It's got its perks.
I can only imagine.
I mean,
hey, look though, it's funny. It's funny, you know. It's funny for me personally. The older women, that's the funniest thing. Like in the video you guys have seen when I went to Hollywood, and
yeah,
one little lady was standing there, and she was talking about, get your hand off my face. And I'm thinking from the outside looking in, like, that's somebody ready. But she's like, I love you, Tupac. That was my husband, so you're my husband now. I'm looking like,
yeah, but you have to understand though, Pac died almost 29 years ago.
Right.
So those women, they were 20 to 30. So now they're like about 55 to 60 years old right now. Mm-hmm. So those are the women that's really like, you know.
I know, I'm 49 and I feel like I'm kind of young. I mean, as a Tupac, you know, fan, like a huge fan. So like, yeah, there's women way older than me that are just like, oh my God.
Yeah, think about it, like, because when he was doing that, he was dealing with girls who was like 20 to 26 to 29.
Right.
And now they're about 60 years old, 55, 60 years old.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Little cougar Tupac.
You my love, my life. You need